Yes. Me gusta el sonidito, dice. Vamos ahí, vamos allá, vamos ahí, vamos allá. Hey, ¿para qué te digo quién soy si tú sabes que nada más y nada menos que el motherfucker hablar sin ya. Desplazada de King, ya todo está por venir. Money pa' mi family, music para repartir al doble como Gemini. Si es que andamos bien chiviri, mi black y par de chiquilín, son visto como tribilín. Sí que sí, Ricky no me molesta. Somos tan jealous, aquí no te metas. Tú eres un Guns N' Roses, solo aparenta. Ellos hacen culantro y ando en pimienta. Ey, ellos me preguntaron que cómo lo hacemos. Que te voy a contar, papito, si es que estoy enfermo. Tan bajo para esta carrera, cuando rima en ritmo lo parto cualquiera. Camino tranquilo, casi sin problema, caminos al filo de la carretera. Los niños tienen que esperarnos afuera. Malandro madrugan en la madriguera. Voy desde pequeño, siguiente de sueño, lo voy a lograr de todita manguera. Ando con los malvivenses del bloque, que corre el cheque, mejor que choque. La chimemo, joder, estaba muerto, andaba batallando un toque. Yes, yeah, oye, no estaba muerto, andaba batallando un toque.
Blacksmente. Me llega la punta del nepe. Si no saben para qué se meten, vaya por la sombra que el sol está muy caliente. Ustedes no cantan ni con micro de juguete, tampoco me alcanzan por más que con trampa trepen. Me pondré la bata para atender a mis pacientes. De falta de flow es que usted está muy padecente. Vamos a inyectar la dosis de carácter urgente, pero ya no sirve, que pase el siguiente. Probemos la cura en la bebida que está ardiente, cumpliendo un horario a las 4:20, sacando el antídoto de la misma serpiente. En pocas palabras hago cosas sorprendentes. Esperen su área monitoreando el ambiente. Si estoy operando no deja que nadie entre. Con 2 enfermeras pa' que no me desconcentre. Me ponen los guantes, me secan la frente. Y me pasan el bisturí. Parto tu pecho como las partí. En la calle es que aprendí. Todo lo que estás pasando me tocó pasar a mí. Te voy a quitar la envidia para que vivas feliz. Yo quiero llevar mi profesión a otro país, deleitar el mundo entero con este don que nací. Que nadie me diga no, pero todas me digan sí. Que se me triplique todo el dinerito que invertí. Ey.
Yeah. Rapper One, el hombre orquesta. Radical people en la casa, more vaya. Vamos a darle candela, pa' la familia candela. Traigo puro flow desde la vieja escuela, espera. Que no has visto nada, espera. Que hay lumbrera en tu atmósfera. Digo mormo, vaya Babylon, bye bye. Firme allá adelante con la frente en high. Uno busca fight, yo les digo why. No perdan su time, conmigo no bye bye. Me pidieron que yo entre y voy a meterle duro como antes. Voy a reventarle los parlantes. Firme allá adelante con un flow sobre extravagante. Y si hay farsante, llevo puestos los guantes pero no. Se alarmen que no son guantes de box. Son guantes de seda para tratar el corazón. Corazón son, bajo de presión son, desesperación son, mala condición, Yo solo vine para traerte mi mensaje, Vine para decirte que se puede y soy fe. Vine para decirte no te rindas, socio no te rindas. Pon tus ojos en el que está arriba en Jesús, el caballero de la cruz, el único que está contigo cuando te apagan la luz. El verdadero sol y neto real batería, te cuida todo el día, por si no lo sabía. Cuando llega la resaca y todos te abandonan, cuando llega la bajada y todos te abandonan, cuando llegan los problemas y te abandonan, no es Rexona, es Jesús el que no te abandona y te perdona. No te abandona. Radical people in the area, more fire.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
lejos mi gente se desvanece, pero casi siempre son los que no lo merecen. La muerte de un inocente, lo sabe la gente, pero nadie dice que se lo llevó. Se rompió un corazón, lágrimas de madre, sangre en sus manos y no lo comprende el padre. Recuerda que la vida no tiene un valor y grita al cielo, mejor recógeme a mi Señor. Pase lo que pase hoy, siempre con la mente tu recuerdo en mi corazón te llevaré. Para donde quiera que yo voy, pienso diferente, es que el amor de ahora está presente. Pase lo que pase hoy, siempre con la mente tu recuerdo en mi corazón te llevaré. Para donde quiera que yo voy, pienso diferente, es que el amor de ahora está presente.
Dime dónde están los que desaparecieron, los que no volvieron, los que de uniforme se vistieron. ¿Dónde están los que ya no están del soldado Juan, que una bala traspasó su cuerpo con el ruido de una? Son historias como mi prima Gloria, que su cuerpo no aparece pero queda su memoria. Niña de 5 años que su aliento ya es agónico, encuentra cuerpo pero envuelto está en periódico. La vida es una tumba que la suerte te depara, la muerte está en la mano de aquel hombre que dispara. Padre que espera a su hijo que vive en la urbe, pero al día siguiente lo recogerá en la morgue. Se cuentan horas, días y también los calendarios. Primo, nadie sabe si caerás en cementerios, como mi amigo Mario que jugaba a ser sicario, hasta mató a su hermano y lo tomó como algo serio. Se cuentan horas, días y también las estadísticas. Para la policía un expediente más en balística. La lista aumenta y también el desenfreno, como aquel niño que golpeado en el hogar se siente ajeno. Le pone freno y toma la decisión, sacando la pistola de su padre en el cajón. Su lápida ahora pinta: hijo mío, te queremos, y la muerte nos permite, algún día nos veremos.
Pase lo que pase hoy, siempre con la mente tu recuerdo en mi corazón te llevaré. Para donde quiera que yo voy, pienso diferente, es que el amor de ahora está presente. Pase lo que pase hoy, siempre con la mente tu recuerdo en mi corazón te llevaré. Para donde quiera que yo voy, pienso diferente, es que el amor de ahora está presente.
¿Dónde van? ¿Dónde? Dime dónde van las almas que se pierden en el camino de la vida. ¿Dónde van? Dime dónde van. Se detienen pulsos, otros por impulsos para el diván. Penas que se cuentan en la esquina, cuidado con la neblina que la muerte se avecina por la acera. Joven estudiante muere en una balacera. Otro lío de pandillas que en el diario aparecerá. La vida se desaparece como el humo de un cigarro, loco disparando desde un carro. Otra vida que se pierde bajo el cielo gris. No se puede ser feliz cuando gente muere en un desliz. Como Marco que soñaba con ser narco, viajar en barco y olvidarse de las penas en su cuarto. Pero cada vez que parcha ya se siente harto, y su corazón marchito marcha para el infarto. Almas en oferta como verdad, que se acuesta en una cama pero en otra se despierta. Son 14 años y ya perdió la niñez, que desaparece un viernes y no regresa en 2 o 3. Coleccionando amores sin importancia a los rumores, malos menores sin temores y sin valores, deambulando en cada city, con el futuro a convertirse en un graffiti.
Pase lo que pase hoy, siempre con la mente tu recuerdo en mi corazón te llevaré. Para donde quiera que yo voy, pienso diferente, es que el amor de ahora está presente. Pase lo que pase hoy, siempre con la mente tu recuerdo en mi corazón te llevaré. Para donde quiera que yo voy, pienso diferente, es que el amor de ahora está presente.
Hey, shalom, family. Hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, that intro was horrible, man. That intro was it's pretty bad. I'm using this new. Well, first of all, I want to thank the Most High. Let me just say this for allowing me back on this earth. Well, I guess not this earth, this air, because I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to keep the classes, especially after the whole move and everything. You know, I'm kind of limited on space. But you know what, fam? I prayed to the Most High, man, and it made it happen. I'm sorry, by the way, it's early in the morning. I'm still trying to wake up. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it this early, okay? First of all, I'm going to read this to y'all. Let me just say shalom to everybody. Shalom, fam, whoever's there, whoever's not. This is early. I don't expect anybody to be listening. So maybe this will be a recorded class, I guess, for some of y'all, most of y'all. But let me read this real quick because honestly, this is exactly what happened. I was going to, it's funny because I had the scripture for later on, but it has to be brought out now. I haven't really needed to wake up this early lately. I've been doing a lot of different things, so I've been trying to sleep a little later, not too after, but 7, 8ish, right? But this morning, I got woken up. I'm honestly had no reason to wake up. I went to sleep late, and I should have not woken up because I was tired. But apparently, the Most High had other plans for me. So let me read that for you guys, all right? It's Job 33, verse 14. It says, "For God speaketh." Let me see if they can hear it loud and clear. Hold up. Yep, you can hear loud and clear. It reads, Job 33, 14 says, "For God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed." That's what I'm talking about. So I just woke up this morning like, class. Now here's why, fam. Because like I said, I thank the Most High that He got me back on I guess radio, YouTube, whatever air. And I got a little office because I got some stuff going on here, some business here, and like a new venture. Lord willing, it works out. It's not a big thing, not like a CEO crap. Just a little business. I'm trying to see if it works. When I came here to do classes, this was yesterday, and the day before, I got internet on Tuesday. But I realized that there was so much sound here. Like the people down two doors, I think, they had music. It's like a Christian church. I'm not even sure. I don't know my neighbors yet. And then you could hear everything around me. Bro, I couldn't do a class. It's like, bro, I could hear everything. When I recorded myself, I could hear the music behind me. It just like didn't work. I came in the afternoon, at night, and there were still people. I'm like, damn, I don't know how this is going to work. Apparently this morning, Most High is like, okay, here we go. "For God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deeply falleth upon men, in slumbering upon their beds, then He openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions." So I woke my ass up and I'm like, I got to go to wait a minute. Hey, what time is it? 5:30. Class. I could do class. There's not going to be nobody there. If they're working late, more likely there's nobody there in the morning. And it seems like the people here in this building, they tend to work late, so they don't get up early. So all praises to the Most High for that. It says, "Then He openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions." So I really woke up with a purpose this morning. I'm like, listen, I'm going to do this class right now at 5 and change, right? It took me some time to get going because this computer's slow here. Then it says that He may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. So let me tell you something, fam. This happens to a lot of us, especially if you're in the milk, if you're sincere about the scripture. The Most High will somehow, some way provide instructions, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, back to the class. Oh, man. First of all, again, man, for you brothers and sisters that don't know the story, I sold my home, the home that, not a big home, it was a little home. And we had to move, and it took me about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks to get everything settled in, and then to find space. Because, like I said, I don't have no space in my apartment. Right? I had to move down, man. I had to trim down, and I'm okay with that. The Most High has dealt with me, in a righteous manner. Let me rephrase that. The Most High has allowed me to even with my faults, still manage to make it through. So I appreciate what I have and what I don't have. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I trimmed down. Point is, I don't have no space, but I do now. I'm just thankful. I'm happy. 3 weeks ago, I did my last class almost, and man, I miss you, family. You brothers and sisters that do show up and say shalom. I appreciate y'all, you that are watching. All praises for you to watch in. I appreciate you guys. By the way, I want to let y'all know that the message is passing through. All right. We got the way I see it is there's about 279 crazy people like me that understand what I may be saying and that see through a lot that I share, because y'all need to be logical in this channel. Like I always say, facts tell, stories sell. We always want big stories. As you can see, people love stories. Facts hurt. They're painful. It's a big pill to swallow. A lot of people don't like facts. They want alternative facts is what they want. Now, listen, I'm going to show you this video because I was watching it. And I'm going to show you the video, and then I'll show you what triggered the video. All right. So I watched, then again, you know me, family, and some of y'all that are new to this channel, what I like to do is I like to, have you guys walk with me through the path, like what I go through, my mindset, right? Like, here's just what I see. And then I use scripture to bring it to reality. Okay. Because that's technically what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to understand scripture, right? Here, I'll show you. It's a simple instruction, fam. Here we go, right here. Look, I'll show you real quick. Revelation 1:3, it says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein. For the time is at hand. So blessed he that readeth. Through reading, you'll understand prophecy." Now, one more thing. Don't forget, this is why Joshua 1:8 says this on a consistent basis. Joshua 1:8 says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." So as you can see, the Bible, the word of God, has to be in your mind on a 24/7 basis. I'll give you one more. This is something that the brother brought to my attention years ago. I appreciate what he says. Man, I remember you, brother. It says here, let's see. No, Nehemiah 9:3, it says, "And they stood up in their place and read in the book of the law of the Lord, their God, one part of the day, and another fourth part they confessed and worshiped the Lord, their God." So as you can see, this is the daily thing. The scriptures have to be in your mind on a consistent basis for you to see prophecy, for you to see what is going on right now and how it was written in the Bible, because the Bible is past, present, future. It's repetitive. You got to keep that in mind, family, okay? You got to keep that in mind, which is I'm going to mention that today, but it really isn't the topic, okay? So let me go through my whole little spiel, show y'all some little news, I guess you could say, and then I'm going to get into the actual purpose of the class. I call it Black Plague. It isn't really any connotation of anything, you know what I'm saying? It is just Black Plague. Now, what I mean is mental, physical. Wait, if the shoe fits, wear it. That's how I'm gonna say it. All right. This is for everybody, man. Look, listen. This channel is a channel for you Israelites, you Hebrews of this continent that we happen to be here. Okay. I'm not talking about no one else in no other part of the world, because I know we're scattered, but I can't talk to them. Lord willing, they hear. But I'm talking about you guys here. All right. So now, let's go with this. Here we go.
Right now, you can get 100 hit loops for only $1. That's right. This is the craziest deal we've ever done in Unison history.
Let's listen into the video here real quick. I know you guys have seen this. Now, probably you guys have seen a sketch of it or something. I posted the link. Y'all know I share all my information when I remember, and well, yeah, when I remember. Not that I ever want to block it. Anyways, it is Egyptians always had a very clear description of humanity. Like, listen, like what they look like and what the other nations look like. Okay, so let's listen in. Let's absorb this information. This is the African origin. This is I cannot pronounce the gentleman's name. Shiak Anta Diop, I believe. I don't know. Anyways, so let's go.
Of the ancient Egyptians. Who were the ancient Egyptians? How did they look?
Voilà, les Égyptiens anciens ressemblaient à cette tête que vous voyez. Voici le premier roi de la terre.
Here you have the first king of the earth, the very first. And the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, looked like this man.
Cet homme a des traits, si vous voulez, plus, comme nous disons, vous m'aviez dit tout à l'heure de ne pas employer un terme, mais sur le plan scientifique, c'est un terme consacré. En tout cas, il a des traits de la race noire plus marqués que celles de presque tous ceux qui sont ici dans cette salle.
You can see that he has those traits that are associated with the black
feature.
Those features associated with.
Now, I'm gonna share this, fam. I'm not one that believes that Egyptians were white. Okay, I don't. I know there's some people that are pushing that. I don't know, and I don't believe it, and I don't really care, to be honest with you. But I just don't believe they're white. They're not our people. That's all I care about. But if you can see this picture, it looks kind of Asiatic. Interesting. Anyways, let's go.
The black race, which are even more pronounced than many of the people here. It was this man who unified the Nile Valley from Upper to Lower Egypt, and this was 3,300 years before Jesus Christ.
Yes. Je passe donc, ce que je vais dire avant de passer au suivant, c'est que vous allez le voir donc déjà d'après ses traits et les traits aussi des pharaons qui vont suivre.
You can see by his features and those of the pharaohs and kings that will follow it
que les anciens Égyptiens n'étaient pas des blancs qui seraient devenus progressivement noirs et en perdant leurs traits.
You can see that they were not a people that started as whites and became progressively more black.
Mais qu'au départ, c'était des noirs authentiques qui, à la basse époque, vont se métisser avec des blancs.
They were instead a black people, an authentic black people, but which never ceased to be blacks.
You guys hear that? Which never ceased to be black. Let's repeat that again real quick, my friends, because I need you guys to hear that, okay? This is why when I bring out the book, The History of Africa, or The Historique of Africa by Lou Africanus, which is not a white man, he's very clear on who the Africans are, okay? And Blackamoors and all of those guys, all right? And by the way,
avec des blancs.
Anybody that believes that the Moors were white people, y'all are dumb. Let's go.
They were instead a black people, an authentic black people, but which never ceased to be blacks.
Donc, attendez, je dis en un mot. Donc, vous voyez que les anciens Égyptiens étaient des Noirs comme tous les...
So you guys got to remember this, okay, family? You got to remember and put this to thought. If blacks were Egyptians and we're Israelites, who enslaved? What is our relationship with them? Have you guys ever thought of that? To this current date, Bible is past, present, future. We're in Egypt all over again. We see it in the dollar bill. Who came and conquered? It wasn't just one shade. It was two shades. And by the way, shades mean, and white and black is not a color, family. They're shades. So for any of you guys that are calling yourselves white or black, you guys are calling yourselves shades. You're not colors. Anyhow, be mindful. This is deep. Let's go.
les autres naturels de l'Afrique, c'est tout.
You can see that the first the Egyptians were black men, like black men that you see in Africa now.
Ici,
that's the depiction that he's going to break down, okay? So keep in mind, family, Egyptians enslaved Israelites. We're back at it again, family. Let's go.
Cette reproduction est importante.
This is a very important reproduction.
C'est dans le tombeau de Ramsès III.
This is found in the tomb of Ramses III,
20e dynastie.
the 20th dynasty.
Vous avez le personnage de gauche.
That person on the left,
c'est le type général, donc, représenté par l'artiste égyptien lui-même.
this is the general type represented by the Egyptian artist himself.
General type representation of himself. Y'all see the profile. You see the skin tone. It is very clear who these people look like. All right, let's go.
Le second, c'est le type général de tous des Européens, si vous voulez, de tous les Occidentaux.
And the second person or personage is the general type of all the Europeans represented by the artist.
Le troisième, c'est le type général de tous les autres Noirs de l'intérieur du continent.
And the third personage is the general type representing all the other groups found in the interior of the continent.
Of Africa.
Of the continent of Africa.
Oui.
You guys heard that? He says that everybody, the interior of Africa, looks just like this. So when this Aboriginal concept here, when you guys say that we are from somewhere in Siberia, my question to y'all is this: where's your diet at? Where's your history of eating corn, maize? Where's your history of using tools that actually break down the maize? Because that's where the corn is. You guys have no dietary history of that. And then, okay, so if we're Mongols, what other nation in the world is just like so-called Mexicans? Because you guys attack them a lot. Nowhere. However, you guys look like these guys. Make it make sense. There's no other nation anywhere in the world that you could say, oh, I've been to Asia, and those guys are just like Mexicans. Or those guys are just like, Salvadoreños. No, nowhere. But I can go to Africa and be like, hey, man, I know a guy that looks just like you back home. Yeah, I could do that. Let's go.
Found in the interior of the continent.
Of Africa.
Of the continent of Africa.
Oui. Le quatrième, c'est le type général de tous les Sémites habitant l'Asie.
The fourth personage is the general type of all of the Semites.
Would you hear that, family? Man, I'm telling you right now. Did you hear that? This says, look, this is what the Semites look like. Look.
The fourth personage is the general type of all of the Semites living in that area of Asia.
Ceci est un tableau ethnographique. Voilà les races qui existaient à l'époque, telles que les Égyptiens les ont connues, vues et représentées.
This is
De différentes races.
the different races represented by the artist, and these are the races that existed in his time as he saw them.
Nous sommes à 1200 avant Jésus-Christ.
We are 1,200 years before.
You guys hear that? This is what they saw at that time. But yet people ignore this. IOIC, One West, they don't want to show this picture. They just want to show pictures like this and then say that we're the same people. Oh, but we're the ones that mix. Yeah, they look African. And they didn't mix. But they're not Hamitic. So make it make sense. Anyways, that's one of my points. Here's another one. Look, I've been teaching in this channel. Well, first of all, I want to say this. This channel's been on since last year. I started in May. And then something happened with my files, whatever. I never pushed the 12 tribe chart. In this channel, I never did that. Never have. Never will. I always have been saying that our gente is Israel. We're not saying no other ones are. I started off like that. I had left the camp, but I saw that there was hardly anybody teaching about our people. Now, yeah, you have brothers that are teaching Northern Kingdom stuff, and like the brother, what's his name? Jose Vega was debating with what's that other big group, older group? Whitemen and Watchmen, and other brothers were teaching too. Hey, Shalom, he said. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like there were others, but I'm like, man, but I just felt like there was something left behind. Now, me particularly, I wasn't born here, so I had the privilege of being born down south. So I got to see the experience of down there. So that's why I bring material here. Now, as time went on, my research went on, I discovered that it wasn't just certain people that are conquering and conquered us. As time went on, I was like, wait a minute. Why am I finding myself with this material? So all this time, family, all I ever pushed was our gente. Nothing more, nothing less. And my only purpose is to hopefully wake y'all up, hopefully make you research on your own and find out truly if you're about the scripture, because you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You can't keep some of the laws and not all, and then think you're a Hebrew or an Israelite. You can't say, oh, I know all the commandments, right? Yeah, shalom and but however y'all want to say it. I'm not making fun of that or anything, but I don't talk like that. But you can't even keep the basic laws, like simple stuff. Anyways, so family, I always appreciate that. But now let's watch this, okay? The reason I'm saying this is because I've been teaching that a nation of people came with another nation of people. People that look like this right here, okay? People that look like this came with people that look like that. If you look from a distance, they look like so-called Caucasian people, right? But I think that they're like more Asian. So this pair came. They weren't alone, fam. There is such a thing as white and black conquistadors. And then, if you guys seen a movie like The Exorcist, in any exorcism, right, in the movies, right? Because I've never seen one live. They're always demanding one thing from the spirit. They're like, "What's your name? Give me your name." Hold on a second. Give me your name. And as soon as they expose themselves, that demon goes crazy. So all I've been doing is trying to expose that spirit. I wanted to wake that spirit up because I wanted to expose itself. And guess what? It's happening in our very own eyes. Look. This used to be talk like what we were used to. You or raza, right? Our so-called Hispanics. We're familiar with this talk from a certain type of people with the lighter shade, way lighter shade, right? Watch this. But now that spirit is waking up in another type of people. Yeah, check it.
When the land is conquered, that means that people who used to own this land no longer own it, no longer possess it. This is our land now. This is the republic. And we, and millions of my brothers and sisters, were born and raised in a republic. If you want your land back, drop your nuts and take it. But all this, we were here first. This is really our land. You're the illegals. How am I the illegal? America has been a country for almost 300 years. Can't keep using that shit. You lost a long time ago. And to be honest with you, we really don't care. That red, white, and blue fly all across this nation. No other flag. Maybe one day you're going to get in your head that you have lost the war. And that this land now belongs to the Americans and now belongs to the Republic. Maybe at some point you will get that. But this is our land. America land.
You see, family? So you guys that like to listen to Bob Marley and that Buffalo Soldier crap, guess what? Do you guys find it ironic that in 1870 and 1880, there was a Buffalo massacre? Yet at the same time, in 1870 through 1876 and 78, there were Buffalo soldiers. Now, why would you call yourself a Buffalo soldier if you're here to fight the natives? Wouldn't you call yourself a native soldier? No. Their mission wasn't to fight the natives only. Family, this history in this country goes way back. That's why I call the Black Plague, because it is literally still here. Okay? It doesn't stop. Now, I'm going to throw this in here because, man, I'm so disappointed. I'm just going to say I'm disappointed, family. And I'm just going to throw it out there. You know, I don't care if a shoe fits, wear it. But listen, there are certain people that are our people. And I'm going to stay on my ground because, again, I have enough history behind it. Now, do I say all of them? No, but I do know that these particular people study something more than just the Old Testament. And you can't be privileged. You can't be the privileged and the unprivileged if you say you're of the book. Okay? So listen in and find out. Because in Mexico, okay, because that's where I'm from, I was born there, and I still got family there. We know who had power since 1492, okay? We know what people were in position. And my classes have shown that there is a lot of whites, blacks, who position themselves and claim to be natives, hiding behind titles, only when it was convenient. Now we know that even caciques weren't even, that many of them, a lot of them weren't even our people. Let's go. Let's listen in. If the shoe fits, wear it. But let's go.
Jews in Mexico and Latin America, a colonial legacy. The expulsion of the Jews from Spain, kingdoms of Castile and Aragon. In 1492, throughout of these lands were close to 100,000 Jews who went to settle in some parts of Europe, Italy, the south of France or Portugal, in the Kingdom of Morocco or the lands of the Eastern Mediterranean that belonged to the then thriving and extensive Ottoman Empire. In 1497, they were expelled from Navarra. Also in 1497, the expulsion of the Jews from Portugal was decreed, which in the end took the form of a massive forced conversion. Many of the new Christian converts, or conversos as they were called in Spanish, kept the practice of their Jewish religion hidden. Many of these Jews escaped to the Americas during the colonial period and during the Spanish Inquisition in Spain. They settled in most of Spanish Empire of New Spain, present-day Mexico, the American Southwest, and Central America. These Jews became known as crypto-Jews, hidden Jews. Sephardic Jews, crypto-Jews in Mexico, the Americas. When Hernando Cortez invaded the Aztecs in 1521, he was accompanied by several conversos, Jews,
You guys hear that? Let me play it again. And this is true.
Hernando Cortez invaded the Aztecs in 1521, he was accompanied by several conversos, Jews forcibly converted to Christianity during the Inquisition of 1492.
Now, I've proven that there were black Jew converts, white Jew converts too. I've proven that. Well, let's go.
Conversos, or Anuzim, immigrated en masse to New Spain, present-day Mexico, and some estimate that by the middle of the 16th century, there were more of these crypto-Jews in Mexico City than Spanish Catholics. There are two kinds.
And we know because there's a big community over there. My wife is actually from there. Let's go. Not from that community, from Mexico City.
Kinds of conversos arriving in the New World. First, the crypto-Jews, also called disrespectfully Marinos, who had been forced to convert and continued their traditions in secret, and were looking for a better economic situation and a way to evade the persecution of the Inquisition's tribunal. Many of those belonging to this group were accused before the tribunal, and their records were kept at the Mexican National Archive so that their history can be tracked. Also, there were...
You hear that? So their history can be tracked. So they know like who they supposedly are, right? Let's go.
Those who were truly converted and integrated, who hid their origin and their blood impurity. The latter were the ones that most frequently gave away the crypto-Jews and were incorporated to the church structure. Remarkable examples, among many others, were Fray Bartolomé de las Casas, Fray Alonso de la Veracruz, and Fray Bernardino de Sahagún. Following the...
You hear that, fam? Let's go.
The arrival of the conversos in the New World, we can divide their history into three periods. From the discovery to the conquest, 1492-1519. From 1519 until the establishment of the Inquisition Tribunal in New Spain, in 1571, and from 1571 to 1810, during which the tribunal functioned. The first stage was initially characterized by the abandonment of Spain owing to the expulsion decree. Many crypto-Jews and new Christians decided to sail with Columbus and other expeditions in order to...
She decided to sail with Columbus. They weren't enslaved by Columbus. Or did you guys forget that those same people were on ships, came here to the Americas and took our people in ships, and they were part of it? You can't be the privileged and the unprivileged and claim you're of the Bible.
Discover new routes. They even financed these trips. Some...
They even what? You telling me Sephardic Jews finance these trips? You guys know what you claim. Let's continue. Not done.
Remained on the newly discovered islands, while some returned and motivated others they knew into joining this adventure. Until 1502, migratory restrictions were minimal. From then on, however, the Crown allowed access to the newly discovered lands only to the descendants of Christians who counted no converts among their ancestors or, in other terms, were pure-blooded, meaning that the children of the Jews, the Moorish, the newly converted, and those processed by the Inquisition were not able to sail in official missions such as that of Nicholas de Ovando in 1502. Yet, beginning in 1511, restrictions became flexible owing to the need to populate the new lands with craftsmen, leading to an increase of the number of conversos with a professional license as well as...
You guys see that? You guys see that, right? You guys hear what he said? They didn't come as slaves. And by the way, Sephardi Jews and Ashkenazi Jews are hand in hand, fam. You can't separate the two. And if you're one of these guys, then you are a worshiper of the Mohammedans and the Talmud. You can't deny it. That's what they study. Look up Mohammedans, man. You guys want to be... You guys look up Mohammedans. You guys don't know that, do you? He claimed to be the Messiah. Matter of fact, he was the reason why a lot of these guys kind of went off. And in case you guys don't know what the relationship between, why were they oppressing these guys here? Do you guys realize that when the Moors and the Jews had a great relationship at that time, prior to 1492? They were working together. And guess who they were oppressing? The Christian white man. Now you wonder why? Let's go.
Of businessmen. The commerce in false documents attesting to pure blood increased as well, allowing the sailing of many crypto-Jews heading toward the Indias. In the second period, many crypto-Jews participated with Hernan Cortés in the conquest of the mainland, and in...
You guys hear that? Let me play that again.
The defeat of the Aztecs in the conquest of the mainland with Hernan Cortés. Many crypto-Jews participated with Hernan Cortés in the conquest of the mainland. Many crypto-Jews participated with Hernan Cortés in the conquest of the mainland and in the defeat of the Aztec Empire situated in Tenochtitlan.
You hear that? So they had a lot to do in the defeat. Those nations knew exactly who our people are. Yeah, man. They knew, bro. It said, look, and I'm not even saying it. This is books of that I read and material that I have. And where we're from in Mexico, we know that these people, matter of fact, in case y'all don't know this, I was going to do a class on this, but I don't have everything unlocked out of my storage, right? So I was going to do a class on the Ladinos, which has a lot to do with this. And it has nothing to do with like this topic. It was more towards it was driving towards what was the topic? Ladinos, what was it? What was the topic? The Ladinos, the African something. Okay. But Ladino is a title and also a language. And see, these guys spoke Ladino. And in Mexico, I know this from studying, and I know this from material now, that a lot of the negotiating and government findings in between were between Ladinos, not natives. They were fighting for power of Mexico. And watch what this guy says. Let's go.
And in the defeat of the Aztec Empire situated in Tenochtitlan. We know about them because of the process against 4 of them that took place in 1528. 2 of the Morales brothers, Hernando Alonso and Diego de Ocana, were burnt at the stake, and the other 2 received minor punishments. During the stage, a significant arrival of conversos took place. Mainly,
I think that's Mohammedis right there. I think that's Mohammedis, okay? Let's go.
From Madrid and Seville. They arrived as soldiers, conquerors, and colonizers.
You see that? They arrived as soldiers, conquerors, and colonizers. Come on, fam. Really? Let's go.
There is information that by 1536, there were in New Spain crypto Jewish communities in Tlaxcala and Merit. The conversos lived in specific neighborhoods and on certain streets. Some dedicated themselves to the local trade, but they traded also with foreign countries, especially...
And you know what trade means.
...with Philippines. Some of these people ascended the social scale and married old Christian Spaniards. The third stage was initiated in 1571, a time by which the crypto-Jewish communities were already consolidated. Spain solidified its harsh policy toward Jews by opening an Inquisition office in Mexico City, which accelerated the persecution of the crypto-Jews. Over the course of the colonial period, about 1,500 were convicted of being Judaizers, meaning they observed the laws of Moses or followed Jewish practices.
Keep in mind, family, that I have showed you in many classes that for 500 years, Mexico was without a Bible, okay? 500 years. 500 years. Since 1492, we were without a Bible. Why? So we see these guys practicing their tradition, so-called. We're being told that all we have to learn is this. Watch, I'm going to show you. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. Let's see. Here. Look this. This is from the Mysteries of Mexican Pyramids, page 16. Watch what it says, all right? As land was stolen from natives, great famine ensued, yet heavy taxes were laid on Indians. Those who failed to pay were tortured to death. Indians who refused to join the Catholic Church were horsewhipped and had their heads shaved and were forbidden to hold office or title in their villages. For failing to attend mass or for practicing any of his old rites, an Indian could receive 100 lashes. According to the Spaniards, Indians were supposed to only know the Our Father, Ave Maria, Credo, and 10 Commandments. Reading and writing were considered as dangerous as the devil. We don't see them trying to tell us we're the people.
A new Christian called Luis de Carvajal I de la Cueva, nicknamed El Viejo, the El Dejo, the Elder, received funding and a concession.
I believe that's part of the Talmud. Okay, don't quote me on that. But the Tetragrammaton is something that you won't find in the Bible. Let's go.
From the crown to establish the Kingdom of Leon in the northeast of Mexico. This was a reward to him for his pacifying the Chichimecas. Approximately 100 Spanish families, most of crypto-Jewish origin, settled in the town. Many prominent Mexicans claim they are of Jewish descent,
listen to what he says.
Referencing their Conversos roots. Besides, Presidents Porfirio Diaz, Francisco Madero, and Jose Lopez Portillo, renowned artist Diego Rivera publicly announced his Jewish roots.
You guys hear that? Porfirio Diaz publicly announced his Jewish roots. And Porfirio Diaz also hired the científicos, which I don't know if they were or not, but I can only guess they were, right? To pass laws, write constitutions to favor who? Themselves. Let me see if I have it here. Hold on. Oh, man. I don't have the video. But anyways, it's almost done.
Jewishness is the dominant element in my life, Rivera wrote in 1935.
Jewishness is the dominant element. So they're going to do whatever they can to favor themselves. See? Scriptures don't lie, family. Scriptures don't lie. And again, if the shoe fits, wear it. I don't care. You know, all I know is that this is what I find. This is what the Bible tells me to. And all I'm trying to do, fam, is waking my people up, because this is the judgment seat right here. This is the judgment seat right here. We're here getting ready to be judged. And if you want to mislead individuals, or if you are misled, then you be misled. Listen, man, it's a privilege to be in this position, to be able to repent, to be chosen of the few. 1 Corinthians 1:25 says, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. So the Most High, even on its lowest level, no man can defeat him. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. So here we see God is not going to pick those guys that are obviously, that we think, oh, yeah. Nah, he's not going to do that. But God had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. People like me, man. No schooling whatsoever. And God had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Older dudes, older brothers. And base things of the world. Because when you look at me, people, man, they're like, oh, dude, that guy don't know nothing. And the base things of the world and the things which are despised, God had chosen, yea, and the things which are not, to bring to not things that are. We're here to flip the script and put us all back on track. So I'm mindful and I'm thankful. So I don't let go of what I know. And I'm not going to try to stretch too far. Where's the video I saw? Anyways, let me keep going. Thought I had the video here with, I guess I don't. Let's go to 2nd Ezra here. Remember, family, when I told y'all right here, Revelation 1 and 3, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of his prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Blessed is he that readeth. Why do you think that? Here's why, family. Here's why. I'm going to just make a real quick topic, real quick point. 2nd Ezra 14:38, it reads, okay? It says, and the next day, behold, a voice called, saying, Ezra's, open thy mouth and drink that I give thee to drink. So, this is a parable, family. Okay? Don't go drinking juices of some sort. Remember, in a dream, in a vision of the night, okay? The next day, behold, a voice called, saying, Ezra's, open thy mouth and drink that I give thee to drink. The process of you growing in this truth, when the Most High wakes you up, it's going to be like that. Now, you're not going to literally get a drink offered. You know what I mean? It's a process. Then opened I my mouth, and behold, he reached me a full cup. Me, when I went through the walk, I bought a Bible. That was a full cup, because I never looked back, which was full as it were with water. But the color of it was like fire. And that's what the word is. And I took it and drank it. And when I had drunk of it, my heart uttered understanding. And wisdom grew in my breast, for my spirit strengthened my memory. So as time goes on, and as more reading you apply, your memory gets strengthened. Meaning, as I said before, past, present, future. But your memory doesn't strengthen unless you're doing the right things to understand the scriptures. 1 Peter 2 and 1, it says, wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speaking. See, it says it. Watch what it's saying this before it's telling you to do something. Wherefore, laying aside all malice. So you got to work on malice, guile, hypocrisy, envies, and evil speaking, meaning we all have this. Every single one of us has this right here. Yeah, the Sephardi. Hey, man, you know what, Eastside? That's right. That's a great point. They were. Matter of fact, they actually were. Sorry, let me go back to that. Sephardi Jews and Moors were the pirate merchants. They were. That's why when you do this, like, what was the Ottoman Empire? The Ottoman War? That has a lot to do with that. A lot of these pirates and merchants were working with African kings still. Man, the history's so deep. The history's so deep on this. That's why it's like, you got to be careful what you're claiming, man. To me, look, when I supposedly did a DNA, it says that I'm like 70-something% Peruvian. And then it says that my DNA haplo comes from the areas of like where Abraham and the 10 tribes sojourned in Assyria, right? Like by Haran. Not in Israel, but up in that area, Haran. Now, can I guarantee that? No, of course not. So I'm not going to go far and stretch. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go teach the people over there in that area, in that region. No, man. I'm going to teach the people here. Because I know a history about who came here. And the Bible is very clear, family. You're going to go through the curses. If you don't go through them, more likely, you're not the people of the book. So you can't be the person oppressing and the oppressor and oppressee. You can't be both. You see, you got to wrap your mind around that. Yeah, it may sound good, but you can't be both. And I know here in America, as we're revealing more things, we know now that there were so-called mestizos, who are not our people, claiming to be Indians. Caciques, not our people, claiming to be Indians. And mulattoes, not our people, claiming to be Indians. We are knowing this now. The other class I did earlier, which has a lot of views. Man, I was very surprised by it. Look, I'm going to show y'all. And hold on. Sorry, family. It has about 865 views, okay? So this is just a follow-up of the previous classes that I had done, like this series right here, from here to here, right? It's kind of all in a sense connected. So in this class, I basically bring that information up. It's called La Leyenda Negra. It happened in Puerto Rico. It happened in Cuba. It happened in Venezuela. It happened in Nicaragua. It happened in Peru. It happened in Mexico. All over the continents. People like this had slaves too. Moors hiding. Because actually, man, I wish I had all my books. I don't, fam. So I'm not even going to say it. But I'm going to bring up the class on that Latinos. It's going to be a good class because I'm going to go deep on that. I got a very good class on Latinos. I've been wanting to do that class, and I got a good reason for it. So anyways, it says here, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and all hypocrisies and envies and all evil speaking, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So you see, it says desire the sincere milk of the word, meaning the basics, the basic understanding of the Bible. But before you desire, before you wish upon understanding, you got to work on yourself to get rid of all this shit. Malice, guile, hypocrisy, envies, and evil speaking. And then your memory gets strengthened. So as your memory gets strengthened, okay? As your memory gets strengthened, and the more you read, the more you start somehow remembering things. I tell when people tell me, they talk to me, they're like, bro, like it almost seems like you were like, man, like you were born all over, like you were there. I go, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Like I really feel the history that I'm learning. And I believe I think it's amazing. But look, let's check this out. I got this book called, because the reason I'm bringing this up is because the more you read, the more you the more concrete the more rooted you get. You know, the more sure you are, like, man, I knew that's what it meant. So check it. Found this book called it's called the Little Matter of Genocide, right? And we're gonna read page 1 and then page 136. And because this is true, this is what people, the Holocaust and the denial in the Americas, 1492 to the present, because in reality, that's true. They don't consider us a Holocaust, okay, at all. I hope you guys understand that. We had no Holocaust, okay? That's what they're saying. So let's go to page 1. Let me read this real quick. Then we'll go to page 136. Encountering the American Holocaust, okay? Watch what it says here. Adolf Hitler said once, the bigger the lie, the greater the likelihood that it will be believed. During the 4 centuries, spanning the time between 1492, when Christopher Columbus first set foot on the New World of a Caribbean beach, and 1892, 500 years, right? Wait, no, 4. When the U.S. Census Bureau concluded that there were fewer than 250,000 indigenous people surviving within the country's claimed boundaries. A hemispheric population estimated to have been as great as 125 million was reduced by something over 90%. The people had died in their millions of being hacked apart with axes. That's in Deuteronomy, family. And swords, burned alive, and trampled under horses, hunted as game, fed to dogs like the dogs of conquest, shot, beaten, stabbed, scalped for bounty, hanged on meat hooks, like, you know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre type, like that, fam, and thrown over the side of ships at the sea. Now, when have you heard of us going through that? When? What movie have they done on the natives that shows, like the so-called blacks, are people being hacked, burned alive, trampled on horses, hunted as game, fed to dogs? When? Never. Hung on meat hooks and thrown over ships at the sea. Worked to death as slave laborers. That connotation does not apply to us, does it? We're not slave labor. Even to this day. I'm going to show you videos. Watch. Intentionally starved and frozen to death during the multitude of forced marches and internments, and an unknown number of instances deliberately infected with epidemic disease. Man. That hurts, family. I mean, it's kind of like, why don't they don't call this a Holocaust? No, it's not. It's not. They don't see it as a Holocaust. They don't, fam. They call it a manifest destiny. They just say, hey, Christopher Columbus. Oh, I'm one of them now. Imagine that. Imagine me saying, oh, hey, he's our brother, family. You guys would unsubscribe in a second. Hey, Shalom, Rick. How you doing, brother? Yeah, it's amazing to know the history. That's for sure, bro. For sure. So this is the reality, right? This is what really happened. But this is technically what they wanted us to believe. Watch. It's very short. Very short. Let me put this on the link. Y'all can read it later. It's a good information to read. Here you go. Y'all look through. Let's see, 136. There it goes, right here. Very short, but watch what it says here. All right, it says here on page 36 at the bottom. It says denial of the genocide is paramount. To observe that the number of Native people shrank by 3/4 over 4 centuries from 1 million at an onset to 250,000 at the end is to say that something plausibly and explainable as benign occurred. To concede that the population began at 2 million and fell by 8 during the process of settlement, meaning colonialism, is to strain such explanations severely, although they remain at least superficially tenable. But to acknowledge that there were 12 or 15 or 18 million people in North America in 1492 is to say that somewhere between 96 and 87% of the native inhabitants of the continent were eradicated. Such figures do not lend themselves to facile and blameless explanation. So they must be denied if genocide itself is to be denied. You see that? You see, it has to be denied. But yet, this is they boast this. Every 2 years, we get what? Movies about African slavery. They used to say every 2 years we get a movie about Jewish Holocaust. But the reality is that the real massacre, the real Holocaust happened here. We were axed, stabbed, shot, beaten, given to dogs, fed as food, thrown on hooks, starved to death, frozen to death, pushed to slavery until you couldn't handle it. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to sneeze on your ass so you could die. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Look, I'm going to show you this real quick. Got a couple more materials and then I'm almost done. Okay, watch. This is from a book, and I've been wanting to show you this before. Hold on a second here. Let me close this real quick. Archive. Here we go. Got a bunch of stuff here. Here it goes, right here. Okay. This is from America, A History of Chicanos, Rodolfo Acuña. Watch what he reads. Watch what he says, all right? Hold on. No, I'm sorry, not that one. Oppression. Well, let me see. Maybe I'll read this one first. No, not that one. Now, let me read this one first. Hold on. Where are you? Did I post you? What? I didn't post you. Give me a second. No, I don't have it. Can't believe I don't have it. Privilege and resistance. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Man, I thought I had it. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Let's see. I have this page. because there are in this book, it actually talks about, gives us a comparison. When you read, hold on, let me see. Give me a second. If I don't find it in a few, then I'm just going to move on. It sucks because I really wanted to show y'all that real quick. Maybe I can find it. Here it goes right here. Oh, praises. Oh, praises. Oh, praises. Okay, cool. Take a picture of it. Okay. I'm going to post it here real quick. Select more. Bam. Bam. Send. All right. This is from the book is called Oppression, Privilege, and Resistance. Okay. In page 89, I'm going to download it. Give me a second. Oh, just here, put it here. Give me a second here real quick, fam. I'll work fast. Okay, cool. Page 89, all right? Watch what it says. You guys can read the book. It's the 3rd edition. Every college had it, okay? This is 7th edition. They're in 7th edition now. Every college has this book. It says, I'll read here at the top and then I'll follow the bottom. It says, I feel that the parallels between the Chicano experience in the United States and the colonization of the third world people are too similar to dismiss. Attendant to the definition of colonialization are the following conditions. Watch this. This is Deuteronomy 28, 49, and 50, okay? So I'm going to read it to y'all real quick so you can see it. So, like, I'm telling you, man, they're literally talking about us in the Bible, and they're not even knowing it. Deuteronomy 28, 49, and it reads this. It says, the Lord shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. Okay? Watch this. Number 1. A land of one people is invaded by people from another country, who later uses military force to gain and maintain control. Right? Isn't that what we're looking at right there? This is what we're looking at right here. Bring a nation from far, from the end of the earth. A land, one people invaded by another people, and they'll use military force and gain control. Right? They show a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard a person of old, nor show favor to the young. We know that that's what happened to us. Number 2, the original inhabitants became subject to the conquerors involuntarily. Well, yes and no. But look, Deuteronomy 28, 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. The original inhabitants become subject to the conquerors involuntarily in every way. 43, 44, right? They are conquered. We were. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Don't they say that after the U.S., Mexico and Central and South America son el retrasero de Estados Unidos? They are. So now y'all can read those other ones. Baruch 3:8, you can show it. Look, number 3, the conquered have an alien culture and government imposed upon them. That's a good one. Watch. Lamentations 5 and 2. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our house to aliens. The conquered became the victim of racism and cultural genocide and relegated to a submerged status. Deuteronomy 28, 22. Submerged status. 28, 30. I'm sorry, 28, 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand on for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly. You see that? Cursing, vexation, and rebuke. meaning you're going to go through things. You know, like murderers, wetbags, drug dealers. We have a negative connotation to our name now, fam. So-called Hispanics. It's called vexation, anger. So then now you act out, guess what? You get rebuked. You get judged for it. Become victims of racism because it's a cycle, family. Racism creates itself. Cultural genocide. And regulated to submerged status. Are we not at the bottom? I mean, that could have been actually verse 43 and 44. The conquered are rendered politically and economically powerless. Look at this right here. Economically, right? So meaning through laws. Daniel says it. Daniel 8:25, it says, and through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. By peace, meaning by laws. The conquerors feel that they have a mission in occupying the area in question and believe that they have an undeniable privilege by virtue of their conquest. You know what that means? This one right here. I don't know why I wrote that in there, but it's this right here. Is it 64? Let's see. Where is it 50? Give me a second. Was it 49? Yep. Verse 49, Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. The conquerors feel they have a mission in occupying the area in question and believe they have an undeniable privilege by virtue of their conquest. Self-explanatory, family. I don't know how much more you guys need to know. You guys are the people of the book. Look at this. The real Holocaust happened here. So when you read Deuteronomy 28, that's Holocaust. That's the Holocaust right there. It doesn't apply to anybody else. I haven't found that many people that can actually fit this. That's why, listen, when I talk about strengthening your memory, when I mention that the Most High will bless you with those things, yeah, he's going to start waking you up, fam. Look, Ecclesiastes 1:9. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this. The things that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there's no new thing under the sun, past, present, future. So me, this is my research. This is what I know. And history has taught me what I wasn't taught in school or in churches, who we are according to the Bible. And now the Most High is revealing to us who the enemy is according to the Bible, and that they're not just a particular one shade, that there's a couple. See, so here, I want to remind you of this video. Here's why, okay? Remember I told you guys about the spirit coming about? I remember in school when we heard this, and now it sounds so familiar, and it's not by White Nation, because you know what, fam? This scripture is coming to life in our very own eyes. One thing One West could never do. Psalms 83. We're starting to identify these people right here. Because we didn't know who these other people were, right? They never wanted to talk about it. Now we know that the Philistines, okay, you Canaanites, that you guys came out of Spain. You did conquer Spain. The Bible even says it. It does. It actually does. Let me see if I can find it. Is it here? Hold on. It says Phoenicia run to Spain, I think it says. Let me see if I can find it. How do you spell it? I don't even know how to spell that. Give me a second, fam. I think it's this one. I don't want to get off topic. It doesn't matter. It's not part of my class anyway, so it doesn't. I don't care. Anyhow, but the point being is that we know who they were. Okay, so let's listen into this real quick. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Watch. So remember what she says. All right. I find it ironic that she says this. They came from Europe to invade our country. Yeah, this is how we feel about us here. Let's go.
They came from Europe to invade our country. They took it. They have made us suffer. Now, it is absurd to say that we Africans were not in Africa when white people first came. And secondly, the conqueror writes history. They came, they conquered, and they wrote. Now, you don't expect people who came to invade us to write the truth about us. They will always write negative things about us. And they have to do that because they have to justify their invasion in all the countries. They could have come to our country and lived side by side with us. We didn't mind that. In fact, when they came, we said, come in, sit down, and they sat down and said, get out. They came.
When the land is conquered, that means that people who used to own this land no longer own it, no longer possess it. This is our land now. This is the republic. And we, and millions of my brothers and sisters, were born and raised in a republic. If you want your land back, drop your nuts and take it. But all this, we were here first. This is really our land. You're the illegals. How am I the illegal? America has been a country for almost 300 years. You can't keep using that shit. You lost a long time ago. And to be honest with you, we really don't care. That red, white.
The hacking, the cutting in pieces, the feeding to dogs, the starving to death, the giving of diseases, the free, like what else? You don't care? This is why I've been pushing and saying, hey, shalom, Adam, shalom, Ed. This is why I've been pushing and saying, like The Exorcist, tell me your name, you damn demon, tell me your name. And now they're becoming who they are. All praises to the Most High.
Red, white, and blue fly all across this nation. No other flag. Maybe one day you'll get in your head that you have lost the war, and that this land now belongs to the Americans and now belongs to the Republic. Maybe at some point you will get that. But this is our land. America land.
Like I said, family. So now we know how that feels. Black and white conquistadors. I got you. It's all good. So we're almost done. So now I'm going to show you this real quick. All right. This is for you, so-called African Americans.
Do not buy solar panels if you live in one of these 11 states of America. It's the worst decision you...
Well, I'll say this. There was a time where I did believe what I used to believe because that's all I knew. But now we know that there's a different history that is being imposed on us. And there's another history that is being hidden from us that they don't want to talk about. Apparently, these people here have a problem with John Leguizamo. Okay? So let's listen in real quick, and then I'm going to play a short video. This is just me throwing a little shade here. Hold on. Let's go.
Threads, a brand owned by a descendant of Black American freedmen, was created to uniquely address Black American history.
and share the broadcast. Thank you so very much. Now, family, we have a very interesting story.
Right.
Talk black to me, somebody. Steal ours. Disrespect ours. And it seems at the moment that we start doing some straightening, people want to tell us to back down or we're doing too much. No, that's not how that goes, family. All the energy needs to be placed toward the liar, the one that's initiating and propagating the lies and the misinformation. Well, one such person is this John Leguizamo. He's a pretty well-known Hispanic actor and filmmaker and did some Broadway stuff. He's the one that's doing the 6-part series now on MSNBC. He did this interview premiering, giving the heads up about what's coming. And he had the nerve to sit here and try to take credit for hip hop taking off and saying that it was his people that built America. Family, watch this clip.
He's mad about the fact that he says that our people built America, okay? All right, hold up.
Latin people, we're the largest ethnic group in America, the oldest ethnic group.
He is very correct on that one. Now, he's very correct on that one. We are the oldest. We are. That's without a doubt. Let me see if I can turn this up here. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, man. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyways, let's go.
We built this country. We suffered in this country. We were oppressed, and we're thriving. We add $2.8 trillion to the GDP every year. If we were our own country, we'd be the 5th largest economy in the world, bigger than England, bigger than Italy, bigger than Brazil. Part of the building of the hip hop culture. It is black culture.
It is true in regards to the GPD, and I think it's even higher, okay? But it's true. So now, that's one particular person. I don't want to get too much into it. And then this other one here. So apparently he really ruffled some feathers over there. And an African Diaspora channel over there. Okay, hold up.
Actor John Leguizamo has a new special called Leguizamo Does America. Now, it's a 6-part series that will be on MSNBC or the streaming service Peacock that will allow the viewer to travel with him throughout America to absorb Latin culture and everything you can think of, right? And so he's also gone on to say that Latin people have been here in America since the Revolutionary War all the way to the birth of hip hop. Now, I know a lot of people got their feathers ruffled with that, but those are his words, not mine. Well, as he was interviewing and talking about his new special, this is what he said. Check it out.
Latin people, we're the largest ethnic group in America, the oldest ethnic group. We built this country. We suffered in this country. We were oppressed, and we're thriving. We add $2.8 trillion to the GDP every year. If we were our own country, we'd be the 5th largest economy in the world, bigger than England, bigger than Italy, bigger than Brazil. And that's just in America. So I found Latin excellence all over America, in Chicago, in D.C., in Miami, in Puerto Rico, in L.A., in New York. And we ate, we danced, and we celebrated because nobody knows how to enjoy life as good as Latinos.
So yes, you heard him say, all the accomplishments that Latinos have, and they built this country. Now that one personally.
So apparently that burned because we say, Shalom, Salome, that we built this country. All right. Oh, man. Okay. So, first of all, I want to say this. You see this logo here? It's an Africa logo, right? If you're pro-Africa, then get your ass in Africa. That's what I say, okay? We're not pro anything but pro here, this continent. This is what we're pro for, all right? Pro our people. Second, I don't know if people why I keep getting concerned with who built it, because in reality, unless you are ignoring your own history or don't know it, then you're stabbing yourself in the foot because I guess I tell you what, I'll leave it like this, fam. If they say that they built America, fine. Then come help. Okay? Come help. Because apparently Florida needs your help. Watch this. If you built America, well then, like anybody that likes to build, the property needs renovation. But I don't see you guys ever. Not once. Not even as a group. Let's go.
Mi raza, estoy aquí en el aeropuerto de Miami, y dicen que ahora con la nueva ley que se va a poner feo. Pero me imagino que va a ser de los restaurantes, de todos los restaurantes. Y así ahorita les voy a poner el ejemplo. Aquí están 3 morenitas despachando. Yo pedí una hamburguesa y 2 órdenes de papas. Tardé 35 minutos alrededor de que me despacharan.
See what he said? The 3 black girls working there. He ordered a burger. It's been 35 minutes. Okay, let's go.
Esta gente ahorita ahí tiene bastante tiempo. Tienen bastante tiempo. Pero les apuesto lo que quieran. Les apuesto lo que quieran, raza, que si estuvieran 2 latinos ahí, 2 hispanos, 2 latinos, esa gente no estuviera esperando ahí, raza. Neta, es sorprendente y imagínense que va a ser de Florida sin la mano, sin la labor de los latinos, raza. Y eso que es comida rápida, raza, Miren, 3, sí están 3. Yo tardé 35 minutos para que me atendieran con 2 órdenes de papas y una hamburguesa. Ahora imagínense cuando aprueben esa nueva ley que quieren hacer aquí en Florida, raza, todos los restaurantes sin latinos. No, hombre, se les va a caer el cantón. Pero bueno, saludos.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, family, they're I don't know what's going to happen to Florida if they actually do pass that law. They're getting heck crazy. Look at this. There's nobody working the properties. So, Mr. Black Man, Florida needs your help. Since you built America, you say you did, then get your ass out there and renovate it.
Miren, señores, una sola persona que ha quedado ahí, ¿ve? El único americano que ha quedado en este lugar.
¿En serio?
Mire, solo una persona trabajando en ese techo. ¿Qué van a hacer acá los americanos sin nosotros? Mire, para que miren.
Ahí está mi gente, viernes 5 de mayo, viernes vacío aquí, no hay trabajadores, venimos a checar a Miami, a ver si es cierto y es verdad, mira, no hay trabajadores, todo vacío.
Now listen, fam, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Nobody. So who was building these properties? All right, let's go.
Vacío, todo vacío para ser viernes y un día viernes 5 de mayo, nadie. Todo está vacío. Todo está vacío, miren. Ahí está. Nadie trabajando. Dejaron la construcción. Bueno, pues vamos a disfrutar un rato de Miami, ya que pues ya después va a estar vacío esto. Pero queremos checar a venir las construcciones por aquí, sí. Solo que quedó esto. Ni modo. Vamos a ver qué traen los boricuas y los cubanos, que son los que, bueno, van a quedarse a gobernar.
Now watch what a Boricua brother says or a Cuban brother says. Watch this.
Viene el lonchero y el lonchero no encuentra gente en el proyecto. Hoy no venderá el proyecto. Hoy no venderán el proyecto, no hay gente. Allá está el americano solito, en su carrito y no hay gente en el proyecto, señores. El lonchero hoy no vende, señores. A esta hora, 9:30 de la mañana, esto estuviera lleno de gente, de muchos trabajadores latinos, inmigrantes. Y no hay nada, señores. No hay nada. Ahí me Roy DeSantis. Te estás, como se dice vulgarmente, te estás cagando en la economía de este gran estado. Es increíble lo que estás haciendo con tus leyes nefastas, tus leyes racistas. Cuando tú bien sabes que este país nos levantamos nosotros los inmigrantes. Mira qué proyecto de allá. Qué proyecto de allá. Son manadas de gente que se miran trabajando.
Me personally, because I work in the I don't work in this industry. I work with them, right? It blows my mind to not see anybody there. This is a weekday. I don't know if you guys can wrap your mind around this. Hey, Solomé, you're in this industry, brother. This is nuts. Yes or no? This is nuts for our gente not to work. What? Are you kidding me? That's not. No, we go to work. But there's something going on here. The point is, too, with my channel is, where y'all at? Canaan? You said you built it. Come, remodel it. You see, but these are the facts. This is what people don't know, who really is building America. And if you guys look back in Egypt, who was building Egypt? Man, come on, family. Look at the dollar bill. Look at the dollar bill. Where are you guys at, Mr. I Built America? African Diaspora. Come on. Mr. Aboriginals. Yo, this is your country. You say we're not from here. We're Mongolians. What's up, man? Where you at? Yeah, bro. Esto va a estar cabrón. If they pass that law in Florida, you can kiss it goodbye. Are you telling me one burger took 35 minutes, fam? And 3 people is enough. You got one to do the burger and the cheese. You got one to do the fries and one to make the order. I've worked in restaurants when I was young. It's not complicated. Let's go.
Todas las mañanas. Y un proyecto que está en pleno apogeo. Por allá se miran 2 peloncitos en el techo. Cuando llegan como 10 personas siempre. No se mira nada. 3 carritos. Lo que estás ocasionando es increíble, Roy DeSantis. Porque tus leyes nefastas lo que van a hacer es hundir este estado. Porque tú no vas a agarrar una pala. Tú no te vas a subir a un techo a rufiar. Tú no vas a cambiar las unidades. Tú no vas a hacer nada más que construir leyes nefastas sentado en un escritorio. ¿Para qué? Para decaer este gran estado. Home Depot se va para abajo, todo se va para abajo sin los inmigrantes y más en este estado de la Florida, donde nosotros ponemos el pecho para levantarlo. De 200 trabajadores en cada proyecto vas a ver a 4 gringuitos. Esto lo levantamos nosotros, pagamos taxes. El que venga a delinquir y para su pueblo lo manda, pero a la gente buena le estás metiendo terror y se están yendo de la Florida y todo esto no lo vas a levantar tú, que te quede claro.
Buenas noches.
Family, that's why it's important that the scriptures are the ones that are going to bring us together, family, because now you see our gente, right? Our people literally see that we're all going through it together. Going to Florida in June, got to check that out. Yeah, man. Hey, dude, I would say take some videos, bro, record that, because to me, that is amazing. I cannot wrap my mind around the fact that 35 minutes a burger, fam. Imagine that. I mean, that's like the little stuff, but that's the little things. So we're going to start seeing now who the real, well, we have. I don't even have to. We're seeing it right now. You see, we're not boastful about this. We're not, and one thing I know for a fact, and I've told this to a brother, and I believe that you guys agree with me on this. I'm just happy that I have the opportunity to repent and be forgiven. That's all I'm thankful for, fam. Yes, I know it says we have the potential of a kingdom and all these things, and I can't wrap my mind around that. But I can wrap my mind around the possibility of my Father forgiving me for all the shit that I did, for all the people that I hurt, for how much I dishonored my parents, how much I disrespected my parents. Because that's what the Bible talks about, family. Honoring your parents is your honor the Most High. So I have a lot to pay. I let my family down. I let my children down. Most importantly, I let myself down. I didn't measure up to the standard that I had since the beginning. And now that I know that I'm an Israelite of the Bible, of this book, you damn well know that I'm going to act according. And I'm going to raise my children properly. And I'm going to continue to push my family in this belief. And I'm going to continue to do these classes. And hopefully some of you guys start trying to maybe raise your standard. Because a lot of times we give up on ourselves because we don't believe that there's a chance that God chose you, that you are a child of him, that we are descendants of them, that we are part of the 12 tribes. And the most important one, that we can repent, that God will forgive you for everything that you've done wrong. As long as you have faith and that you do apply the commandments as best as you can and try to understand more as you grow in this truth. Because all we hear is to practice the righteous acts. That's all we can do. Because we see in part, just like Paul said, we see in part. So we can only do as best as we can. All right, let's go to Proverbs real quick. And then a couple more verses and then I'm done. All right, let's see. Hold on. Proverbs, what are you? Proverbs 24. Watch this real quick. I love this parable right here. Watch what it says. It says here. It says, I walked through the fields and vineyard. Oh, sorry. 24, 30. It says, I went by the field of a slothful and by the vineyard of a man void of understanding. Okay. So this is, he's walking by this building, but it's a parable. It says, and lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles had covered the faces thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instructions. So as I see the imperfection, let's say, I don't want to say others, I saw the imperfections of me. I was a slothful man, void of understanding. I had thorns all over me, nettles all over face thereof. My walls were broken down, man. I had no stability. I had no true foundation. Then I saw and considered it well and looked upon it and received instructions. And that's when the change started. I examined myself daily. And that's why in Sirach 6, it says this. In case you guys don't know this scripture, meditate on it. I won't read it all completely, but it goes here. Sirach 6:24. It says here, 6:23. Give ear, my son, receive my advice and refuse not my counsel, and put thy feet into her fetters, meaning chains, and thy neck into her chain, and bow down thy shoulders and bear her, and be not grieved by her bonds. Come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways in all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got a hold of her, let her not go. For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and thou shalt be turned to thy joy. Then her fetters, meaning shackles, then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. And that's the laws. So chain yourself up to the laws of God. Reframe yourself, trim your ways, get rid of all the fat. Walk the path, put yourself in those shackles. And the renewing of the mind will happen. I guarantee you, family. That's why there's a scripture that says, how's it go? Discipline and peace. We discipline our spirit to have peace in our mind. Okay? You discipline your spirit to have peace in your mind, because you'll never be able to really discipline your flesh. You understand that, family? All right, now let's finish it up with Amos 3, and then we're done. Amos 3, watch what it says. Hear these words that the Lord God has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I have brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Okay? So we'll be the first ones punished. But at the same time, verse 7, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So that's what we're here. That's what we're here for, fam. All right? So, anyways, other than that, hold on. I do have this. I almost forgot. Let me not forget this. 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. I'm gonna finish it off with this video here, fam. It's an old video. I'm gonna try to show some of the old ones again. Give me a second here. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. It's just gonna be a small portion of it. The last, I think, 20 minutes. I just want to remind some of these people of who they are and who they're worshiping, and let me see. Give me a second. There it goes right there. Second. Hold on.
We're sold out.
There it goes right here. There it goes right here with 13. I'll put you at 13. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this dude here. Watch what he says. It's only going to be 10, 20, about 20 minutes, fam. Okay? And then I'm going to call it. I'm not going to play this video because then they'll block my channel. All right? But anyways, shalom, family. Lord willing, we'll see each other again. More likely, I'm going to do classes early in the morning or on the weekends. All right? That's the only time I get like real quick, peace and quiet around here because people are going to start showing up now. Anyways, all right, family. Let's stick around here for a second. And y'all take care. Shalom. I love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all being around, and try to share this channel as much as you can. Give the likes. Obviously, that's because the algorithm will push it. The more people that know about this truth, the better. And do yourself a favor, fam. If you see any of our gente out there, selling food, like, the street vendors, keep an eye on them. And if you can, if it's not Sabbath and it's food that's clean, buy some food for them, man. Let's help each other out. You know what I'm saying? Those brothers and sisters are out there fighting to survive, and let's help them out. All right. They may not be keeping the laws of God, but it's your good time for you to talk about that. Hey, man, did you know? You're the Israelite of the Bible, man. Yeah, it's a good time, fam. It's a good time. Use that opportunity. All right, fam. Shalom. All right, let's watch this. I'm gonna be here still, but I'm gonna let it play.
Because if you are our people, then you're either a sellout, and if you're not our people, then you're a Khazar.
Hollywood, you already know.
And you're misleading these people, letting them think that, oh yeah, look. Dude, this is called this is actually CIA work, man. This is psyops right here.
We see people
You guys
walk
have no
past our
clue.
house. We don't
This
know
is
their
exactly
names,
what
but
they do. They manipulate the mindset, give you so much information left and right, every direction. You have no clue how to decipher anything. So you're like, oh, I'm an Aboriginal. Oh, I'm a Hebrew. I'm an African. I'm an Egyptian. I'm a Kemetic. I'm a Mexican. I don't give a shit. I don't want none of that. How's that?
He is about 42 years old. Look, this a treasure. He made him think like a Spaniard or more. Be black.
A lot of you've seen his
right?
To these books by Lee Cummins. A lot of you've seen his books, the Negro Question, and there's like about 6, 7, 8 parts. The world history that is being taught in the classrooms omit the existence of the Black Scots, Black Irish, Black Brits, Black Italians, Black French, or Black Europeans that were sold directly into the American slave plantations. Again, what have I been saying? Who was really coming in over here in ships by the thousands and thousands and thousands? That was Europeans, both black and pale-skinned Europeans. Not just black, all right? But also not just white.
So I'm thinking he's going to continue, right? I'm like, okay.
So it says here, the Scottish kings of England.
All right, so here he has a picture of King James.
Right? So I think he's going to, I'm just letting it go.
All right, that's true. All right, so this is an image he has here of King James. All right, so he got a little curly hair and stuff. So they're showing here. So James, by the grace of God, King of England. All right. He says, I know that this image of a black King James can be a little confusing because of your Western education, but this is the truth that is known by the rich and the elite in the world. That was the reason I paraded all of the English historians and professors before I got into the bowels of this book. I had to get your mind ready to receive the truth. King James came from a long line of black Scottish Stuart.
A long line of black Scottish Stuarts. You guys are ignoring all of that, and you say you're Hebrew Israelites? You say you're Hebrews, and he's coming from a long line of Stuart kings? Do you guys not read the Bible? Didn't y'all say that Esau is the dukes?
Kings, the Stuarts. 343 years of rulership in Scotland. The Stuarts not only ruled and able to rule, were all his hand and symbolism to read the symbol.
I'll be honest, man. I can't stand listening to this guy.
Charles I of Scotland.
Dude, you're born in America and you don't even... What is wrong with you, man? Honestly, I bet you don't even speak Spanish well either.
Scotland and England. That Oliver Cromwell invaded Scotland, killed is that Europeans conquered plan on my part, and we are ignorant of their existence as.
I'm trying to hurry up and see if he shows something to us regarding. Okay, see, look, watch. So I'm thinking, okay,
community, so-called African American, right? A lot of blacks have Scottish and Irish last names. Very interesting.
He doesn't get into it. So then I'm like, Now I know something's up. At that very moment, I knew something was up. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. Okay? This is that book that I'm talking about. And this is what stood out, okay? So as you know, we've dealt with this, right? This, from every single camp that you so-called Hispanics and natives, you Hebrews, right? Every single camp you're in, they say this. These are Jews. 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 Look, brother. Look, brother. These are Jews. Look, brother. I already said what blackamoor means, right? They say these are Jews. But like, look, you're saying the white man gave you this the white man brought us this doctrine, but you're actually the one pushing the doctrine, so you gave it to the white man. It comes from Egyptian. That's where it comes from. Look, you think this is a white guy? It's English. Oh, here goes right here. Russian, 1696 to 1781. But I thought you guys were in slavery. Look. That's an ugly looking picture. Look. Look. I already showed you guys the plates. And you know what? That dude, that damn heathen animal, Curimeo, he has the book that I have. Which is why I know that he is a damn agent. So whoever's listening to him, y'all be careful with him. Because he don't give a damn about you. He cares about his money. He sold out his people. He's basically, okay, he's not our people. So if he's a Khazarian, then because, there's a lot of them in Mexico, guys, in South America. And there's a lot of them. They look like us. They're not us, okay? So more likely he's that. And he's manipulating your mind because what is he doing? He's falsifying information, not giving you guys a real talk. Okay, let's do real talk. Real talk, Booty Mail. Real talk. Because I know you live somewhere else, right? I wish you didn't live somewhere else. I wish you lived here in the States. I wish you lived close. So you and I could sit down and talk like men. And you show me that you are for real a scholar teaching the people the truth. You're not. You and your damn broke up weird accent. I don't even know where you're from, man. Stupid. Watch this. I'm going to embarrass you right now. I'm going to show the people that you're a liar. And then all these other people that either they don't know or they're liars just like you. Okay? So now we know that this is King James. And they're saying that he is a Hebrew. So remember, guys, these people, they're generations, right? Generations of bloodline. You can see Scots from years. So these crests tell you everything about them. So, like I said, my daughter gives me the book, and I'm like, oh, God. But then I said, you know what? There's a reason behind it. Well, I found out why. You see, guys, hey, listen. If you read the King James Bible, fine. It's not a problem. But a black Phoenician man authorized to rewrite it. You want to know how I know? You see this right here? Look at that. You can't really see it, right? That's the emblem. That's the chest. Okay. This right here, that's heathen stuff. That's not Hebrew, and you guys are ignoring it. You blacks are ignoring this. So you either don't know, or you are part of the. You are basically heathens like him. Okay. So now I'm gonna basically expose you guys. The seal of King James VI. You see this? Black King James. Fine. You black. You're a Canaanite. By all means, I don't care. But look at this. You see this emblem right here? It's a guy on a horse, right? And he has like some kind of sword, right? And then when you look at him like on there, it's the opposite end. So now I'm going to show y'all. I looked this up. So this right here is exactly what you're looking at. How come you didn't show this, Cootie Mail? How come you didn't show this, Mr. Scholar? There it goes right there. You see that, guys? There it goes right there. That's the emblem. Okay? That's the emblem. I'm not lying. Look. Am I lying? Am I lying? It looks identical except the other way. And you know who has it facing the other way? He is. See that? He has it facing that way. How come Cootie Mail didn't bother telling you guys that? So now who these people are, they are the crest is called the Saracen on horseback. Plate 13311, right? You see that? 133. Oh man, I don't want to do this. It's 13311, right? It takes too long to move. All right, so now let me close this. Okay? 13311. All right? The Saracens. The Saracens. They're the Saracens. So who are these guys? Who are these guys? Look, I did a basic Google. A basic Google, guys. Not complicated. Basic Google. North Africa people. And it gets interesting because I started looking for these guys, right? And quite frankly, man, there was so much false information. And I was like, why is it not capable? So I did a different way. I'm going to give you guys a hint. There's a couple ways to find history. Because people that are evil, they will always boast about that. Or in the medical field. And in the medical field, they keep track of historical records. You see, again, guys, I come from insurance. I used to sell health insurance. So that gave me an idea. Watch this. Okay? I'm going to show you. Where are you? Right here. Hold on a second. Let me look for you. Okay. There you go. See. Watch this. It even says it right in your face. The Saracens are what? The Moors and Saracens in Europe, estimating the medieval North Africa male legacy in South Europe. They investigate the legacy of the Arabs. Y chromosome, North Africa, medieval legacy, Southern Europe, North African, hello group. I don't know. I don't believe in that, but look, they're basically saying, look, we've already seen enough already, right? We've seen enough. I mean, we're seeing it, correct? The Saracens. Okay. Referred to either Moor or Saracen in their arrival in Europe in 711 among Europeans. Their arrival, where do they come from? They spread their language and religion to the native Northwest African Berber population. They're the ones that brought the Druids, the Stonehenges, the devil worshipping, because that's Canaan. Okay, so this guy that you guys read the Bible from, he's not a Hebrew. He's telling you that he's a Saracen of a African bloodline. No, look it up yourselves. Are you guys not aware? Let me look as an eagle flyer. How much more lies are you simple? I'm gonna call y'all silly doves now. You so-called Hispanic. Now you're a silly dove. Because if you're in those rooms and you get a chance to see this class and you still wonder if I'm lying, then you deserve to be there. I'll show you. I'm done. I'm basically done. You know what I mean? I'm almost done. let me show you guys something. Let me remind you guys of something. So let me remind you, here, right here. You see this? This is not in 1900s, like 2010 or 2030. That's a long time ago. It's a long time ago, right? Okay. So while you so-called black man and you so-called white man, you guys enjoying yourselves, getting laid, you're doing the same thing you're still doing now. You guys were in power, you guys were passing laws. You have all these people here, they enslaved our people. You see that list of individual slaves? These guys enslaved us. But you guys are friends with them. You guys think they're Hebrews. They're lying to you. I just showed you that King James is not a Hebrew. He's a Phoenician. He comes from the Phoenician bloodline. I don't know what more I'm going to have to prove. No, as a matter of fact, let me bring that up because you know what? I want you guys to remember while they were in luxury, enjoying their life, right? Now they're complaining. They've had 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 400 years of thriving in America. While we were in servitude, while we didn't even have the Bible, I'm going to show you guys. We didn't even have the Bible. While we're in servitude, they're having a great old time, and now they're blaming us. Now you guys are saying that we did that. So while you guys were passing laws, this is what was happening to us. All right, this is from the Lutheran newsletter. I have a copy of it, but I have the actual link, and I just haven't really wanted to look for it again. I found it years ago. This is what's going on while you Phoenicians, while you Caucasians, enjoying yourselves in pleasures of life. The printing press came to Mexico in 1539, for in that year there was printed in Mexico in Spanish the brief compendium of Christian doctrine. That's what I'm talking about when you guys told me that my precepts suck or they're not part of your list. So I guess you have a brief compendium of Hebrew doctrine. Anyways, under the supplies of the famous Bishop Fray Juan, so whatever. That was just 81 years ago before the Mayweather brought the first pilgrims to Plymouth Bay. Okay, so from 1539 to 1810, when the immortal Hidalgo raised the city of Mexico independence, and during the 271 years of the Spanish rule and the misrule in Mexico, Spain not only did not give Mexico a Bible, but sternly prohibited the publication of any part of the sacred scriptures in that language or in the language of the Mexican people. That prohibition is still enforced in 1900. 122 years ago, this was still enforced. Okay, still enforced. That prohibited was still enforced with regards to the printing of the Bible in any sort of 52 different languages or dialects. The first edition of the Bible in Mexico was printed in Latin and Spanish in between 1831 and 1833. They've been here since 1492. Okay, but check this out. It appeared in 25 volumes. It was an atlas, cost over $200, meaning like almost $8,000 for a poor-ass Mexican. Yeah, we're really going to afford that. And then the worst of it all is in Latin. And then in Spanish. And 90% of the people in that year were illiterate. Yeah. So that still remained prohibited book to the great majority of the people. A magnificent copy of this edition is before me as I write. So I say to that Spain never allowed Mexico the sight of the word of God in all the centuries of their dominion. Of course, the Latin Bible could have had. For 350 years, the Mexican press has been at work to live to lives of saints and catechisms and the silliest, most vapid, immoral tales in Spanish, and taken from the Italian and French. But the Bible is today an unknown book in Mexico among the majority of the people. You see that? Italian and French. Now we know that the French were black and the Italians were black and the British were not, but everyone else was. So guess what, guys? You guys were not enslaved. You didn't go through hardship. You didn't go through a transatlantic slave trade. You didn't do any of that. You lied to our people. King James is not a Hebrew. He's a gosh darn damn heathen Phoenician demon. And all of you that are pushing that book who just got destroyed. If you so-called Hispanic that are a true Hebrew, you're still in those rooms and you're listening to me and you're sitting there, I pray to God he has mercy on your soul. Because use common sense, guys. Common sense. We haven't had the Bible. And I still remember, I'm 40 something, 46, right? I still remember, I was about 4 years old, and I still remember the Latin mass that we went to. And I asked my mom, Mom, what is he saying? He's not facing us. They used to give their backs to us and go, speaking in Italian. Right? In 1970, you guys had the Bible since you came with that doctrine. And then after the Civil War, all it took was the white man to do a couple of things, and you guys are destroyed? You're not Hebrews. Because you remember the Exodus? No matter what they were doing to us, we were still multiplying and we were still keeping the laws as best as we could. You guys are not. You guys are living the heathenish, damn Canaanite way. That's why you see Sodom and Egypt. That pyramid, that's you guys. The eagle, that's you guys. The white man is just like in between of the road. His time's gonna end, but the Most High is gonna destroy you guys and make you slaves to our people for even acting like you are people in the first place and making us submit to yourself as if you're some great Judah. That's evil work, man. Y'all cannot be looking at your brethren like that. You can't look that. You got to have the equality in a sense because that's the only way. You saying that, hey, look at your brother. If you see your brother, you see Christ. Oh, but I'm Judah. Dude, are you saying you look down on Christ? You can't make this stuff up. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord and the ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise against her. Behold, we have made thee smaller on the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in their heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? I shall exalt myself as the eagle. As the eagle. That means he's not the eagle. He will exalt himself as the eagle that you guys established. And thou though set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring you down. So Most High is going to. So now we're going to go to Obadiah 1 and 20. And the iniquity of its host, of the children of Israel, shall possess of the Canaanites. Yes, you guys. Even the Seraphims and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sephard, and shall possess the cities of the south. You brothers and sisters, man, shalom. I love y'all. I'm going to end it with the video. Listen to the whole thing. You guys either get it or you don't. You won't hear from me in a couple of weeks, man. I'm trying to get
Yeah, man, real bomba clock and I set the volume 8. This is the music from the my niggas. Yeah, man. Oh, ribby damn, ribby damn. Hey, la 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 la. You man a tribute for Black Uhuru Ray. Hey, hey, hey. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Will my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Will my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. Por soñar soñé que todo cambiaría, por pensar pensé, luchar a sangre fría sin perder la fe, viviendo el día a día, más con sentimiento que marcó mi sinfonía. darle pan al que no puede comer, darle bendición al que sepa renacer. 3000 errores solemos cometer, pero solo un gran hombre lo sabrá reconocer. Y me di cuenta de tantas cosas, algunas crudas, otras bastante hermosas. Son los más sabios, personas poderosas, no aquellos bastardos que destrozan nuestras prosas. Es la perdición, mala situación de manchar tu corazón por tu mala acción. Dame una razón para darte mi perdón. Siento que tu alma se consume como el humo de este blon. Derramo poesía, arte mensajero que reclamo cada día. Pretendo ser sincero, más comparto mi alegría con todo caballero que mantenga la presión cuando andamos bajo cero. Sentimientos perdidos con calma, malos actos mancharon tu alma. No pide perdón quien dispara el arma, no sabe que un ladrón se bate con el karma. Broken microphone, mystic love a sound, the dream moves on. Real my head alone, living in Zion but Babylon. Broken microphone, mystic love a sound, the dream of soul. Real my head alone, living in Zion but Babylon. Wanna ganja respect from Volumen 8. My niggas on Volumen 8, this is key on the studio respect. Alright. Bad boy kills, criminal of sound and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Below the time like this, bad boy kills, criminal of sound and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Below the time like this, bad boy kills, criminal of sound and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Oh. La 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 la. When I got just smoking from the studio up the on. And when I can just your nigga on the floor. When I live a sound. Oh them, oh them. Ah.